News, sports, movies, and more from the students at the Community College of Rhode Island. Watch now at CCRIChannel.org.
Hello and welcome back to CCRI Today, a show that takes a look at what is going on at the CCRI campuses, including news, current events, and sports. I'm Morgan Judd with the CCRI Channel.
And I'm Peyton Lewis with our top story for today. This week, representatives from the New England Commission for Higher Education conducted their decennial evaluation of the CCRI campuses. During this evaluation, NECHI toured the CCRI campuses and met with administration. Following this week's visit, NECHI will release a report based on their findings. With these findings, NECHI's stated mission is to bring transparency and accountability to educational institutions. After the previous visit in 2014, CCRI underwent a self-study in 2019 to prepare for NECHI's visit this week. In the self-study from 2019, the report gave emphasis to CCRI's assessment of student learning outcomes, as well as monitoring the progress of ongoing institutional plans of CCRI. The report from NECHI has yet to be completed as of the time of this recording, although Dr. Lane Glenn, chair of the visiting team and president of Northern Essex Community College, concluded the visit with a brief summary during the team's exit presentation on Wednesday, March 6th.
And in campus transportation news. The Rhode Island Public Transit Authority recently held hearings concerning bus routes. RIPTA is proposing changes to 33 regular bus routes, which is about half of all in the state. Bus routes 21 and 51, which go to CCRI, are expected to be changed, with increased trip frequency for number 51 and changed arrival times for number 21. RIPTA has not released the details of the changes as of March 5th. Riders will also notice repairs and renovations being done to the historic East Side Transit Tunnel in Providence starting at the end of March through mid-September. The routes affected will include 1, 32, 33, 34, and 40. More information about the RIPTA situation can be found at ripta.com/public hearings.
In other news around campus, there will be no classes next week during spring recess, March 11th to the 17th. When we come back from break, there will be just 8 weeks, about 2 months left until the end of the semester.
Are you interested in becoming a host for CCRI Today? Auditions to become a new host are right around the corner. Stay tuned for more updates about how you can become the next host of CCRI Today. The film submission deadline for the CCRI Student Film Festival is coming up soon. Get your entries in by March 22nd for a chance to screen it at the festival on May 10th and 11th. Enter your film for free by clicking the link at ccri.edu/filmfestival.
That's great. I'm definitely going to submit my film. Need help taking your first steps toward graduation? GradFest on March 20th and 27th is a one-stop shop to get upcoming graduates to check off everything on their lists. GradFest will take place on Wednesday, March 20th on the Providence campus atrium from 2 to 6 p.m. and Wednesday, March 27th in the Warwick campus Great Hall at the same time. You can learn more on the CCR website under Commencement 2024.
And now for the latest in sports. In men's basketball, the CCRI Knights had a busy week. On February 24th, they secured a victory against UConn Avery Point with a final score of 87-74. However, on February 28th, they faced a tough opponent on the road against Quinn Sigmund, resulting in a loss with a final score of 83-77. The women's basketball team lost to Sullivan County on February 24th with a final score of 58-43. Their last game of the season will be against Roxbury on Saturday, March 2nd at 11 a.m.
The women's basketball team is entering the playoffs, taking on the 8th seed Prince George's on March 13th. Mark your calendars for the spring season's first baseball game, Monday, March 11th, when the CCRI Knights will be taking on Oakton at the Roofs Mat, Florida event. The game is scheduled to start at 12:15 p.m. Following that up with our first two softball games will be Sunday, March 10th, first one at 11 a.m. against Mohawk Valley, and the other one at 1 p.m. against Prairie State.
And now we will head over to our field reporters from the studio production class.
I take buses, so it typically takes me about an hour and 40-ish, depends on the day, especially in the morning. With the 195 closures, it really gets backed up in East Providence and where I travel, especially the bus I take goes over to Henderson.
It's about an hour, maybe. Yeah, about an hour.
Is that by bus?
By bus, yes.
My commute before this was probably like 45 minutes, and I'd say now it's probably like 80 to 90 minutes.
Was your time affected by the bridge anyway?
Not really, not coming south.
So a lot of that overspill from the traffic of 195 being closed and down to 2 lanes, it affects my day-to-day pretty rough. And I work in Providence, so no matter if I'm going to class or to work, it's affecting me daily. So,
What are your thoughts on the bridge closure?
They're getting investigated by the federal government, so that's always good.
I mean, it's good that they're figuring it out now, but I really wish they kind of figured it out beforehand, especially when everything came to light.
It's irritating. I hate how long it takes to get here. And waiting for the bus is already like another 15, 20 minutes sometimes, so it's just so annoying.
Obviously, it makes my work life a lot more inconvenient. I don't really know too much of the context of how that came to be, so I'm not going to put blame anywhere, but I'll just say it makes my commute longer.
So one thing we want to get perspective of is there's 2 plans being put forward, and the director of the Department of Transportation has a week to decide to tear it down, start fresh, or repair it, which is a 3-month schedule. The start fresh has no end goal in sight yet.
Well, I would love to know the cons of repairing it, because obviously for my selfish reasons, I'd love for it to just be repaired and just to be able to get to work on time.
Yeah.
But in terms of demolishing it, I know that's going to be a much longer process, obviously, unless it was significantly safer. If there's some cons I don't know about as a viewer of maybe repairing it will break sooner, or it's not going to last very long, or it's not safe, then of course people's safety come first. But it's frustrating. I just want to be able to get to work on time.
The plan with the 3 months is good for now until they have a solid plan to, if they need to rebuild everything. I think they should go into that consideration. But for now, I think the short term, definitely the best option they have, considering how much traffic just goes through 195 just in general to get through Providence. It's right in the heart of the state, so the east side's all closed and all. I know when it first closed, my buddy who works in Providence ended up driving all the way down through Newport just to get through to the other side.
I'd rather them fix it. I can deal with this for another 3 months.
You are watching the CCRI Channel. News, sports, movies, and more from the students at the Community College of Rhode Island. Watch now at ccrichannel.org.
I was a quarterback at Hardaway High School. College first-round draft pick. During the football season, I would stop eating. But I didn't know I was depressed. We didn't have any education behind what mental health was. I started to learn it starts here first. If this is together, I'll be better as a father and as a husband. We have to redefine what being a strong man is and heal, love your mind.
I'm Morgan Judd, and I'm here with Daniel Tovar Coordinator of Student Engagement. Hello.
Hi.
How are you doing today?
Good, how are you?
Good. All right, so what is your role as Coordinator of Student Engagement, and what are some of the things that you do?
Yeah, so one of the biggest things for my role as Coordinator of Student Engagement is helping our student groups get off the ground and running, as well as just running generally. Anything that can range from kind of helping their executive boards to getting an organization started, going through the student government process of getting everyone recognized and all that stuff. A huge part of my role now too is going to be student government and helping people on the executive team there kind of get that off the ground and running. We're going to start elections soon, so getting that together for the next year. As well as just kind of putting on programs and events that students might come to us in our office for. It could be anything, honestly. If we can find a way to make it cater to students and help, I guess, like better engage them and make their student life better. So just thinking about like finals coming up and thinking about, well, not coming up, but in the near future, thinking about how to like help students de-stress, how to think of studying techniques and stuff like that, and how do we take needs that have been identified by both students, faculty, and staff, well, all three, and figure out ways to like bring events, programs, resources to students, and kind of going about that. Yeah, so a lot of general ideas, and then it's right now there's a team of us four. So we have myself, Dean Jenkins or Christine Jenkins, here at Warwick. We have a coordinator down in Providence, who's Brenda is her name, and then we have a coordinator down, or up, I guess, in Lincoln, and her name is Gloria. And so together we make up the team of Student Life right now, and so we're also trying to bring programs and events not only to the Warwick campus, but to all 4 campuses as we can, or all 4 of the main campuses, yeah.
Nice, so you actually just started in this position.
Yeah.
When did you start, and how's it been so far?
Yeah, so this is, I jokingly say like week, but it's actually like week 4, which is very funny to me. So it's been good. I'm just like readjusting to everything. I moved up here from Orlando, so it's been a shift in terms of everything. And so, yeah, also just like a shift going from my work used to be at universities and now thinking more toward the community college student and what that means, and how students such as yourself kind of see student life and how it's different from a university setting as well. So yeah, a lot of personal adjustments outside of here that then reflect in the job, and just hoping that I'm able to be a good resource for students here and taking all the resources that are here to make sure that I can disseminate those to students as well as I can.
Nice, yeah. And as a coordinator, you had mentioned this, but how do you plan on creating events that will engage college students, especially students who are at a community college?
Yeah. So I think first of all, it's just like, for me, having an open door policy at my office, kind of being someone who people see around and think like Daniel is someone who can tell you at least where to go, right? So like thinking on a personal level, for me, it's about being the best resource I can be for students. And when students are able to come, and when they feel they want to come to me, ask for support for their clubs and organizations, I'm able to provide that on a personal level. Working with student groups and their needs, I'm hoping that they also voice their needs to me about what they need, so I can go from there. And then just generally our office, everyone in our office is hearing from different students all the time, and we kind of come together on a weekly, bi-weekly basis and kind of figure out, what do we need to add, what do we need to subtract in terms of programming and events, maybe what has worked, what hasn't, and what students need. And so yeah, if you haven't heard it in everything that I say, to me, student voices are most important to my job. And so I want to make sure that I'm not making decisions on behalf of students if that's not something that someone even wants in terms of a program or an event. Yeah.
Nice. And what has been one of your favorite student engagement events so far that you've been part of? Yeah.
So I haven't been a part of too many so far, but I will say that for me, what I'm excited about is going to be some of that de-stress stuff that I told you about earlier, of finals week is a stressful time. And it's like, I'm not trying to add stress to a student's life by being like, go to this extravagant program where it's like, do the scavenger hunt and here and go there and all that, where I just want students to feel comfortable in our spaces. And I think going back to one of the other questions about student engagement, we want students to be using the student life space more. I think in a world post-lockdown where things kind of like we're put at a pause, we're kind of rebuilding the student engagement piece of our jobs as well. Because I think students have redefined what it is to be a college student since then. And so we, like through de-stress events and stuff like that, I'm hoping through finals week and all that we can kind of filter some more students into our spaces, because we have some really cool spaces on the first floor in Warwick. And honestly, at all campuses, where we just want students to like be hanging, and like, it doesn't have to be a specific program. Just like the fact that you're aware that like we have like some couches and a TV and nearby where you can just sit and talk with friends and be there in community with each other. So I'm just really hopeful for, honestly, the community building that can come from our office.
All right. Well, thank you, Daniel. We're so happy to have you here at CCRI with us.
Thank you.
And thank you for watching another episode of CCRI Today. You can find more episodes, student films, and live sporting events at the CCRI Channel, ccrichannel.org. I'm Morgan Judd with the CCRI Channel, and we'll see you next time.
You are watching the CCRI Channel. News, sports, movies, and more from the students at the Community College of Rhode Island. Watch now at CCRIchannel.org.
Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
All right, this looks pretty good. Oh, hi there. My name's Andrew Hurst. I'm making a behind-the-scenes video on how we make an episode of CCRI Today. Would you like to see it? First, let's talk about our camera setup. This camera in particular doubles as both a teleprompter and a wide angle of our guests and anchors, whereas the other cameras focus on individual subjects. But of course, how are we going to do that if we don't have any good lighting? Now let's head over to the director's studio, where things such as our sound are recorded and constantly being adjusted during the live recording, the teleprompter, which is, very useful if you're an anchor, and where the main director is located, who communicates with the floor director. Their job is to take orders from the forward chain of command and to also control the floor where we are filming. Of course, before we can jump into any of this stuff, we have to practice many, many times. But it's not all just studio stuff. We have to go outside of the classroom and also record interviews and some B-roll footage. That way, editors like myself can work with a much bigger variety of footage. However, none of this would be possible without the help of one man, Professor John Dorn. He's the foreman of the project, helping to make this episode come to life. All in all, making an episode of CCRI Today is very fun. We overcome obstacles and unintentionally make some, but we all learn from our mistakes, and we try our best to make the best content for CCRI Today.
Hello and welcome back to CCRI Today, a show that takes a look at what's going on at the CCRI campuses, including news, current events, and sports. I'm Peyton Lewis, news reporter for CCRI.
And I'm Morgan Judd, and for our top story for today. Welcome to our final episode of the fall semester and the last episode of 2023. Our top story is a reminder to all students that the last day of classes is Friday, December 15th, and final exams will start the week after. Be sure that all your assignments have been submitted. Also, winter classes will start Tuesday, December 26th.
I know I'm taking a few winter classes. In campus news, CCRI has been designated as one of the 17 new industrial assessment centers by the Biden administration, boosting its efforts to support local businesses with energy savings. This designation will help CCRI conduct energy audits and expand clean energy workforce training options for in-demand, high-quality jobs and potentially result in significant federal funding. Interim President Rosemary D. Costigan said, CCRI is honored to be selected as an industrial assessment center. It reinforces our commitment to expand training opportunities, particularly in the clean energy sector.
A few weeks ago, CCRI challenged students to find rubber ducks scattered across the campus for a prize. But one remains to be found, the infamous golden duck. What is this? Oh, this just in. The golden duck has been found. I repeat, the golden duck has been found. However, the identity behind who found the duck is still a mystery. If you are the one who found the golden duck, please report it to the JA office to claim your prize.
That's
Excellent
crazy.
work, right?
Yeah, good work.
Excellent work.
That's awesome. Now look at upcoming events on campus. On Wednesday, December 13th from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., the Alicia Project will be on the Liston campus. CCRI students can access fresh food and household items at no cost through the Alicia Project. Feel free to stop by and take what you need.
On Thursday, December 14th from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. at the Knight campus, the Office of Enrollment Services is hosting a Fresh Start enrollment event. Participate in this exclusive event tailored for adult learners seeking to return and complete their degree. At the Fresh Start enrollment event, you will be assisted in class registration, guided through the financial aid application process, provided information on additional funding options such as RI Reconnect for adult learners, discuss credit for prior learning, the Fresh Start scholarships, and much more. Now we will head over to our field reporters from the studio production class.
Tell us about yourself. My name is Chris Dunleavy. I'm a theater student here at CCRI. It's about my second year here, I'd say. I am playing Jason in Hand to God, which you guys should all go see.
What is the Hand to God play about?
Hand to God is about a mother and son grieving the loss of their recently departed father. So they are really trying to overcome their own grief throughout the play, and you see them kind of both find different ways to express that grief. For Jason, he finds comfort in his sock puppet, which I'm not allowed to say any more than that. You guys will have to see the show to see how that looks. But and then, you know, for Marjorie, she finds comfort in her human relationships and intimacy with others throughout the show. And yeah, it's really just about those two trying to fill the hole that's left by the father.
What do you think is the target audience for this specific play?
This is an interesting question because I think with this show we've had a lot of people that are maybe more conservative or religious kind of shy away from it, and I would say that that's not necessarily what needs to happen. I think that this show is for anybody that really connects with the themes of grief and loss, and also just it's a funny play. It's such a funny show, and it's a comedy, and if you're looking to laugh and have a good time and also be kind of shocked because it is a dark comedy, this is a good show for you to watch. It's definitely it's very provocative, but it's also provocative in a way where it's trying to make a statement about religion and kind of the impacts that can have on individuals that are raised throughout the church. So it's a good piece.
What can the audience take from this performance?
I think if there's one thing I want the audience to kind of thinking about walking away from this play, it's just like, how can we be there for each other, and how can we be more empathetic to what other people are going through? Because I think that my character in this play specifically, I think if people had paid attention more to what he was going through emotionally, you wouldn't see him kind of go to the mental state that he does in the show, and just really, how can we treat each other as human beings, and how can we forgive each other and help each other through our difficult times? So that's what I would say.
All right, thank you. Do you have any last words?
Come see Hand to God. Hand to God will be running December 7th to December 10th, Thursday to Sunday, 7 p.m. Thursday, 7 p.m. Friday, 2 p.m. or 7:30 p.m. Thursday, 7:30 p.m. Friday, 2 p.m. Saturday, and 7:30 p.m. Saturday, and 2 p.m. Sunday. It's a great show. Please come watch. We need your support. Thank you.
Hello and welcome back to CCRI Today. For our interview, Peyton and I are joined with a very special guest, Professor and Department Chair of the Communication, Film and Media Department, Sandra Sneesby. Hello.
Hello. Thank you
for
so
joining
much.
us. Yeah.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure.
All right, so what inspired you to become a filmmaker?
Well, I think I would trace it back to when I was in elementary and middle school, when I would steal away down to the community theater in Centerdale, which is a part of North Providence, and pretty much watch movies all day. We would go down to the theater, and in those days it was the only place you could see a movie, and it was the movie or movies of the week. And I remember being there, and they had these beautiful burgundy curtains, and they would open to reveal the screen. And you were just engulfed in this darkness with just the image and the sound surrounding you. And I was just mesmerized. I couldn't wait every week to go back down and watch another film. And I just became immersed in film, and that was something that I couldn't stop watching. So I wanted to know all about it, learn about it, and figure out how to make them myself.
And so you started the CCRI Film Festival, correct?
Yes, I started that with a student who was here at the time back in 2014, Brenton Henderson. Brent was a star film student, and we worked together to sort of launch it. He organized it, he did a lot of the graphics, and really helped get it up and running that first year. And at the time, the film program was in its infancy, and it was a way to get awareness for the program and for the courses. So it was very exciting, but that was the kickoff year.
That's awesome. Yeah.
So what would you say the CCRI Student Film Festival does for our filmmakers at CCRI? Are there any benefits? What kind of does it do for them?
I think the opportunity to have your work shown in front of an audience and go beyond the classroom and just have it seen, which is what art is all about, having others look and view your art, hopefully that it moves or entertains them. So I think it's an opportunity to show the world, as small as it may be, in our little community, to show the world the work that you have done and get feedback and, hopefully applause for your work, which will in turn inspire you to make more work.
What kind of categories do they offer to students?
Oh, that's a great question, because we are always wanting to add more categories. So we have best of the entire festival, which is excellence in filmmaking, and it's in honor of Brent Henderson, who I started the film festival with, who unfortunately has left us, has passed away. And then we have Best Film in the categories of fictional narrative, documentary, experimental, and animation. And beyond that, we have Best Editor, Best Sound Design, let's see, Best Writing, and we want to add more this year focused on acting, hopefully get some acting awards in there, maybe set design, costumes, etc. But we try to award all the participants in the film production units because, as you know, it takes many people to make a film, and so we want to celebrate all of them.
Of course,
Yeah.
definitely. And what can students look forward to, like in sort of the next year of CCRI filmmaking?
We've sort of expanded beyond we started off, it was just a couple of hour festival, but now we've expanded it last year to a full day. And now this year, we're going to have an opening night sort of party celebration to kick off the festival where we can all just get together, maybe dress up and have a good time. And then the following day, the Saturday, will be where all the films are shown, and we'll have workshops, maybe some vendors there. So yeah, we're slowly expanding it every year.
That's fantastic. Morgan?
Well, that sounds great, and I can't wait to go and see all the student filmmakers and their productions this year.
So, thank you for watching CCRI today. We hope you've enjoyed the last episode of this season, and we will see you next season. You can find more episodes, clips, and more at ccri.edu/channel. You stay classy, CCRI.
The banjo may be one of the oldest instruments still around today. Early gourd banjos can be found from as far back as ancient Mesopotamia. From there, the instrument spread to Egypt in the 15th century BCE and soon after to sub-Saharan West Africa. There, the gourd banjo would change and become a vital part of many musical cultures. The banjo would cross the Atlantic Ocean nearly 3,000 years later on slave ships. In West Africa, the gourd banjo, or gourd lute, that traveled from Egypt would change into the akadanteng. This instrument, found in Gambia, consists of 3 strings, a gourd, and a stick for the neck. Unlike modern banjos, it does not use tuning pegs. Instead, the strings have loops on the end that are tightened or loosened. The instrument has a similar look and playing style to today's banjos.
Gambia.
However, it is impossible to tell just which West African gourd lute would become the modern banjo. Forced from their homes, families, lives, and possessions, enslaved Africans were able to preserve some of their culture through music and instruments. Early Americanized versions of the gourd lute have been found in Haiti, dating back to the early 1600s. Similar instruments have been found in the American South. The instrument, associated with enslaved blacks, would soon gain a larger role in American culture through minstrel shows. Children living on plantations would be taught how to play the banjo by slaves. These children would then grow up and use the banjo to perpetuate stereotypes and propaganda about black Americans on stage. In the minstrel era, there were rarely any black performers of the banjo. Instead, white performers in blackface would do routines mocking black people. Due to the nationwide popularity of these shows, the banjo too grew in popularity. With the banjo becoming a mainstay in American culture in the 19th century, it became more widely available to purchase. Luthier Joel Sweeney and drum maker William Butcher are credited as the first wide makers of banjos. With ease of access to the banjo, the playing style soon moved further away from traditional African roots and towards the modern bluegrass sound. These picking styles were taught in manuals and magazines, such as The Complete Preceptor by Elias Howe and Buckley's Monthly Banjoist, published by J.K. Buckley. With the introduction of the Briggs method in the late 19th century, the banjo sound started to change. Moving away from the traditional frilling and bastardized minstrel styles, the stroke style gained prevalence. This style is similar to the modern scruggs, or bluegrass style of banjo playing. In these styles, banjoists would fingerpick individual notes on the banjo. Due to the change in playing style, more music styles were available to be played on the banjo. These include polka, waltz, and the new and exciting ragtime. As the new century came and went, Americans became tired of the rag and vaudeville sounds. It was time for jazz. And with jazz, a new banjo emerged. The tenor and plectrum banjos became widely used, fitting nicely into the sound of a brass orchestra, sounding out loud and bright with the resonator attached to the back of them. The jazz age came and it went, and the banjo found yet another new home with new music styles, new American folk and bluegrass. Artists like Earl Scruggs and Pete Seeger brought the banjo out of the orchestra and onto the radio waves. Seeger would revitalize and re-envision what folk was, and Scruggs would do the same, but for the banjo as a whole. Scruggs played, and he played fast. His style of playing the banjo, using 3 metal fingerpicks to pluck out individual strings and notes, drenched in fills and rolls, single-handedly redefined the sound of the banjo. When someone thinks of the banjo today, they instantaneously think of his song, Foggy Mountain Breakdown. While the banjo has largely fallen from its place in every American parlor, it still lives on in modern folk, bluegrass, and country music. Whether or not the banjo makes a wide return to pop culture, it will remain the oldest American instrument, one brought here in an all-too-American way.
Up above the alleyway, 10 feet suspended in space. I'm taking my precious time getting back to you.
So the way I ended up becoming a multi-instrumentalist, which maybe is a bit fancy for somebody like me who just dabbles with different things, is I think it came out of 2 or 3 things. Number one, when I was in middle school and high school, and I was playing music in bands, I just had a curiosity for how different instruments work. I was primarily a guitarist, but guitarists are a dime a dozen. Everybody plays guitar. And I'm a pretty good guitarist, but there are always better guitarists out there. And I found that for survival, it was useful to know how to play some other instruments that other people weren't playing. I was playing in bands that were using, instruments from country music, like mandolin or steel guitar, or even bluegrass music, banjo, in addition to guitar and bass and keyboards. And the more I knew how to play these other things, well, if they already had somebody doing guitar, I could always be that guy who'd raise my hand and say, well, I can do the harmonica bits for you, or I can do the mandolin bits.
There's a kind of hush all over the world tonight, all over the world, when you can hear the sound of lovers in love.
My mother would have said that it began when I was just a toddler. She told me one time that she remembered when I was still in a crib, I guess not even a toddler, I don't know, but maybe 2 years old, and she would sing to me, and she said I would sing back exactly what she just sung, the right notes, the right words, I mean, to the extent that I knew words. So apparently I had a good ear. She thought I had a pretty good ear from early on for music. And I'm not a professional musician, but I play with a lot of people. So, and sometimes I get paid. So I guess that is almost professional. Play with a lot of different bands. I've done a lot of recordings, songwriting, things like that. It's a passion and an avocation for me.
Each time I walk into this place, I barely walk out intact. My heart in pieces so small, it's hopeless to put them back. She's always there with that wolf pack, all of those same guys, and I can't get it. Not even edgewise, for one tail is sure to begin where another nose ends. Leaves me walking the dog down Puppy Love Avenue, where I can't slip my leash, can't stay within reach of you. Have to chase down the postman, teach him to shake hands and slip him a letter to you. But I'm just walking the dog down Puppy Love Avenue.
My name is Gabriela Torres. I switched to the film program mainly because, for the most part, I was doing general studies and I was kind of just like coasting by. But I did want to have like an actual major, and so I went to my counselor. I was like, these are the things I like. What major do you think would be best? And he recommended communications, and that's how I ended up joining the film program. I'd say the biggest inspiration for my film is just the humor that me and my friends have. Basically, the whole premise of it is that it's gonna be like these two people that have gone viral on TikTok that have like this food delivery service, but like when you get to know the characters, you find out that they're really bad at their job, and basically a lot of the humor is just like seeing how bad they really are at it. I always had like the idea of this in the back of my head, and I was like, I know who I want. I want Toby.
I think Gabby's like a really good director and like really fun to shoot with.
I would say it was because like of our synergy. We've been friends for such a long time, and we have a lot of like inside jokes too that I think would be really good for the film, and as well as his humor as well. I think he's really good at like improv and coming up with jokes on the spot.
The reason why I joined this film was because I'm a good friend of Gabby's, and I just like acting in general, so I kind of just jump at any opportunity to act.
So far during the process, I'd say work is probably like, the biggest thing that's been hindering me. Coming home from work and going to do like schoolwork has been difficult.
I think the filming process went pretty well.
We filmed it pretty much all in a day.
Basically, in the morning, I went to work and then we finished it. We wrapped it up at night. 2 actors, 1 camera person, and a lot of it too was me driving in my car and stuff. I guess the only setback in the process is for one of the scenes we needed food. I was gonna do like a mobile pickup. It was gonna be like a whole scene where we went through the drive-thru and we got the food, but they said my car got charged twice.
Just so you know, your order came in twice. You were charged 2 times for it.
So it was like this whole thing, and I didn't get the scene that I wanted, but that was probably like the only thing. My advice is someone who is starting out, and don't be hesitant, just go for it. Even if you think that, oh, it's not even going to be that well, it's all kind of just for practice, and then you'll just build on your skills more and more over time the more you do it. So don't be afraid like, oh, no one's going to like it, it won't be this enough, it won't be that enough, just go for it.
CCRI Today, a show that takes a look at what is going on at the CCRI campuses, including news, current events, and sports. I'm Morgan Judd with the CCRI Channel.
And I'm Peyton Lewis with our top story for today. Many CCRI students have been late to class due to significant traffic from the Washington Bridge construction beginning in mid-December. The Rhode Island Department of Transportation closed the bridge after engineers found broken pins in the bridge supports. There's still a decision to be made on whether the bridge will be repaired fully as it stands or torn down to be replaced with all new material. Traffic is being detoured to the Henderson Bridge, and according to the Rhode Island DOT's website, drivers will be set back roughly 10 to 15 minutes during peak traffic times during the weekdays. I know that that's definitely set me back in the mornings.
Peter Alviti, the director of Rhode Island Department of Transportation, says it will be another 3 months until a decision is made regarding the bridge, and that any potential repairs on the bridge would be an additional 3 months. As of yet, there is no proposed timeline for a plan to tear down and repair the bridge. And on the CCRI Warwick campus, come visit the Margaret M. Jacoby Observatory. It's a great resource for the public to use, and it houses a beautiful 16-inch telescope. During February, you will be able to see the amazing Orion star constellation in the night sky. If you want an even better look, go to the observatory on clear Wednesday nights from 6 to 8 p.m., and it's free and available to all. To learn more, go to the CCRI Observatory website.
And now for upcoming events on campus.
Well, first up, we have celebrating Black History Month on February 28th. Student Life will be hosting Black History Trivia. Test your knowledge, learn something new, and engage in important conversations. This will be an online event, so you can join from the comfort of your own space.
Join us on March 25th, 26th, and 27th for a transfer fair event. Additionally, don't forget that our career and internship fair is just around the corner, coinciding with the transfer fair dates. This means you'll have back-to-back opportunities to explore transfer options and career prospects, all conveniently located in one place. Keep a lookout for other exclusive college events like Poetry Slam and award ceremonies. Find more information at events.ccri.edu.
And now in sports, with the women's basketball season coming to an end, we would like to acknowledge the season that they've had. Currently 11-0 in their conference with a 16-6 record, this team continued to put on a show throughout the season. The game of the year was on January 25th at the Holyoke Cougars. This game was a blowout from start to finish, with the CCRI women's team putting up a statement game, winning 71-8. The last game of the season is home, here at the CCRI versus Sullivan County on February 24th. Let's see if the women can end this year strong.
Men's basketball is not looking good as they're losing more games than winning, with 11 wins and 15 losses. What's the cause? We don't know, but the stats indicate more home wins while losses originate far from home. In good news, recent games show a healthier win-lose dynamic, which means a comeback might be around the corner. Even during losses, they still come close, ending just shy of a point or two. To cement their full comeback, they need to put in their effort, but looking at their previous games this season, it's anyone's game. However, as the season ends, let's cheer them on and give them our best.
And now we'll head over to our field reporters from the studio production class.
I'm going to URI after this semester from the JAA and Rhode Island Promise Scholarship.
Well, this is my first year back doing psychology, and I'm doing it through the JAA program.
I'm majoring in just general education right now, and I plan to transfer to Rhode Island College, and I'm gonna major in there either 2 or 4 years and get my master's in secondary education. I'd like to become an art teacher.
So right now I'm majoring in economics, and I'm planning to go to URI.
Do you think it was a seamless process for you going to JA, or do you think you had to navigate? How easy was it for you?
No, it was really easy. I just made an appointment with my advisor, and he literally had the list up and showed me exactly which classes to pick. So.
No, it was pretty straightforward. I I looked at it, I signed up, I met with my advisor, and it was just like that. It was quick.
It's been pretty seamless, honestly. It's been easy going. I just do school like I normally would do school, and I know that at the end I have this tunnel to travel through easily and carefree now.
I understand that For a lot of people, it was easy to do, but for me, I was coming during COVID, so I feel like there was a lot of miscommunication. And I was more focused on trying to learn how to work with online schooling. And I obviously assume every other faculty was, so I feel like there might have been less attention on that.
So, how did you first get to know about JAA? Did you hear about it through orientation, or did an advisor relay that to you?
So I heard it from a friend because I was researching my option for college, and I just heard it from a friend, and I asked my advisor about it.
I think it was actually orientation day. I was instructed to sign up for a JAA because it was going into the path I was going into, and it just provided even more easiness into getting into the college I want to get into.
When I first did CCRI, they asked me about it because I had said that I wanted to end up eventually get a master's in psychology, and they said you can't do that at CCRI, so they have the transfer option.
Do you have any closing thoughts about JAA? Any opinions on what it takes?
No, honestly, just sign up for it if you can. If you're going to URI or RIC, it's an easy path to take.
When I found out I wasn't actually signed up, I was very close to that cap and I almost didn't make it, so just wanted to come on here to say that just make sure you're signed up if you want to go for it, and make sure you're ready.
My name is Zach Alvadis, and you are watching the CCRI Channel from students at the Community College of Rhode Island. Watch now at CCRIChannel.org.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
Hello and welcome back. I'm Peyton Lewis, and I'm here with Anna Batty, manager of CCRI's Transfer Center. Anna, tell me, what is your role at CCRI?
My role is to help students take their next step once they finish at CCRI. So once they graduate and they're ready to go on and get their bachelor's degrees, they come talk to me about what opportunities would be good for them, which schools would be good for them. RIC and URI are a huge push for a lot of our students. About 2/3 of our students choose to go to those schools, but they also choose to go to a lot of different schools around the country and around the world. So it's my job to help them understand what they need to do to get into those schools and how they make those big jumps.
And so what is JAA?
Yeah, JAA is the Joint Admissions Agreement. It's an agreement that CCRI has with RIC and URI, the classes that you take here transfer. So the goal is for a student to come here for 2 years, walk across our stage, and then seamlessly go right to a junior at RIC or URI. When they do that, they can get a tuition discount up to 30% based on their GPA. So if they have over a 3.0, you are entering discount land of at least 10%. 3.25 and higher is 20%, and 3.5 and higher is 30% off. So it's a really good opportunity for a student to come here for 2 years for free with Rhode Island Promise, and then move on and get a discount for their last 2 years.
How many CCRI students are currently in the program?
We've got about 3,500 CCRI students in the program, so there's a lot of you, but it's a great opportunity, and it's a reason why so many students take advantage of the program. My goal is to get about half of our students in that program at some point, but bear with me, I'm a one-man show.
What are the requirements to enroll in JAA?
Yep, so you have to have less than 30 college credits, which is 1 full academic year, and you have to not have credit from another institution. So you can't have gone to another school and then come in. We do have a lot of students who do that, but these classes are classes that anyone can take, so we line them up to be able to take them anyway. But to join JAA, those are the 2 requirements.
And what should students do if they want to enroll but they don't meet the requirements?
Yeah, of course. We have students follow the plans regardless of if they're in JAA or not. So we have the plans are lined up. We have about 96 different transfer majors that students can do. The goal is by the end of this year, there'll be over 100 for students to take advantage of. And we just have students take the classes that would be in those majors without being in the JAA program. So we show them how to use their Degree Works, which is a wonderful program that you can access in your My CCRI account. And in there, it shows you all the classes that you would need to take to transfer. Most of CCRI's classes do transfer, but not all of them. So it's really important to take a look at that degree work evaluation and see what classes you're taking and how they go to Rick and URI and other colleges.
Awesome. And what is the easiest way for students to get more information about the JAA program?
Yeah, we have a website. It's just ccri.edu/JAA. You can bump into me. I'm on pretty much all the college campuses all of the time. We have a transfer center on the Warwick campus, which is right down in the field house. And pretty much any of your advisors know everything there is to know about JAA. So you've got lots of resources to learn more.
And what are the benefits of joining the program?
Yep, you get the tuition discount. When you walk across the stage at graduation here, you get special cords that show that you're in the JAA program. You are automatically accepted to Rick or URI, so there's no application fee. Your transcripts are sent over, so essentially the application process is something I handle and you don't have to deal with at all. You get an acceptance letter straight out of the mail from Rick or URI, and Rhode Island College actually has agreed to waive all enrollment deposits for all students if they're in the JAA program. So there's zero cost to actually starting at your four-year institution.
Excellent. And is there any corrective action students can take if they had thought they were enrolled in JAA but they actually weren't?
Yeah, that happens sometimes. So what we would normally do is have those students come meet with me. We figure out what classes they've taken already and fit a plan that looks good for them. One of the most important things that I tell students is what you get your bachelor's degree in does not have to be your whole life. So it doesn't have to be that daunting of a task to choose your bachelor's degree. For instance, mine's in chemistry. Look what I do for a living. Like, it doesn't necessarily have to line up. I can't think of a single person that I've worked with here who followed what they do as their bachelor's degree for their entire life. It's just a wonderful stepping stone and an opportunity to go on and do the things that you love. So we want to create an opportunity for students to get that bachelor's degree, so we're opening that door. If we have to play with it a little bit, if you don't do chemistry and you do biology instead, we can make it work. But we can figure out ways to make those classes that they've taken apply to their degree, so that way they can get to that bachelor's degree and that next step without taking classes that don't go anywhere.
Lastly, do you have any advice for any students at CCRI?
Yes, please come talk to me. I want to talk about transfer and get your opportunities for transfer lined up so you know what you're doing your freshman year. It can be really daunting. Your senior year, you're graduating, you've got all these things going on, and this transfer piece should have kind of been talked about already in your freshman year, but when you're getting to that transfer part, we want things to be easy and clean. So if it's something that you think you have to wait for, or you aren't graduating yet, so you don't need to talk about it, it's not the case. Come on down. We're happy to sit down and talk to you. All of your advisors, myself, everyone who works here wants you to succeed and be successful. So just come in and talk to us. We can come up with a really solid plan for you.
Thank you so much. And thank you for watching another episode of CCRI Today. You can find more episodes, student films, and live sports at ccrichannel.org. I'm Peyton Lewis with the CCRI Channel. See you next time. Hello and welcome back to CCRI Today, a show that takes a look at what's going on at the CCRI campuses, including news, current events, and sports. I'm Peyton Lewis, news reporter for CCRI.
And I'm Morgan Judd, and for our top story for today. Welcome to our final episode of the fall semester and the last episode of 2023. Our top story is a reminder to all students that the last day of classes is Friday, December 15th, and final exams will start the week after. Be sure that all your assignments have been submitted. Also, winter classes will start Tuesday, December 26th.
I know I'm taking a few winter classes. In campus news, CCRI has been designated as one of the 17 new industrial assessment centers by the Biden administration, boosting its efforts to support local businesses with energy savings. This designation will help CCRI conduct energy audits and expand clean energy workforce training options for in-demand, high-quality jobs and potentially result in significant federal funding. Interim President Rosemary D. Costigan said, CCRI is honored to be selected as an industrial assessment center. It reinforces our commitment to expand training opportunities, particularly in the clean energy sector.
A few weeks ago, CCRI challenged students to find rubber ducks scattered across the campus for a prize. But one remains to be found, the infamous golden duck. What is this? Oh, this just in. The golden duck has been found. I repeat, the golden duck has been found. However, the identity behind who found the duck is still a mystery. If you are the one who found the golden duck, please report it to the JA office to claim your prize.
That's
Excellent
crazy.
work, right?
Yeah, good work.
Excellent work.
That's awesome. Now look at upcoming events on campus. On Wednesday, December 13th from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., the Alicia Project will be on the Liston campus. CCRI students can access fresh food and household items at no cost through the Alicia Project. Feel free to stop by and take what you need.
On Thursday, December 14th from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. at the Knight campus, the Office of Enrollment Services is hosting a Fresh Start enrollment event. Participate in this exclusive event tailored for adult learners seeking to return and complete their degree. At the Fresh Start enrollment event, you will be assisted in class registration, guided through the financial aid application process, provided information on additional funding options such as RI Reconnect for adult learners, discuss credit for prior learning, the Fresh Start scholarships, and much more. Now we will head over to our field reporters from the studio production class.
Tell us about yourself.
My name is Chris Dunleavy. I'm a theater student here at CCRI. It's about my second year here, I'd say. I am playing Jason in Hand to God, which you guys should all go see.
What is the Hand to God play about?
Hand to God is about a mother and son grieving the loss of their recently departed father. So they are really trying to overcome their own grief throughout the play, and you see them kind of both find different ways to express that grief. For Jason, he finds comfort in his sock puppet, which I'm not allowed to say any more than that. You guys will have to see the show to see how that looks. But and then, for Marjorie, she finds comfort in her human relationships and intimacy with others throughout the show. And it's really just about those two trying to fill the hole that's left by the father.
What do you think is the target audience for the specific play?
This is an interesting question because I think with this show we've had a lot of people that are maybe more conservative or religious kind of shy away from it, and I would say that that's not necessarily what needs to happen. I think that this show is for anybody that really connects with the themes of grief and loss, and also just it's a funny play. It's such a funny show, and it's a comedy. And if you're looking to laugh and have a good time and also be kind of shocked because it is a dark comedy, this is a good show for you to watch. It's definitely it's very provocative, but it's also provocative in a way where it's trying to make a statement about religion and kind of the impacts that can have on individuals that are raised throughout the church. So it's a good piece.
What can the audience take from this performance?
I think if there's one thing I want the audience to kind of thinking about walking away from this play, is just like, how can we be there for each other, and how can we be more empathetic to what other people are going through? Because I think that my character in this play specifically, I think if people had paid attention more to what he was going through emotionally, you wouldn't see him kind of go to the mental state that he does in the show, and just really, how can we treat each other as human beings, and how can we forgive each other and help each other through our difficult times? So that's what I would say.
All right, thank you. Do you have any last words?
Come see Hand to God. Hand to God will be running December 7th to December 10th. Thursday to Sunday, 7 p.m. Thursday, 7 p.m. Friday, 2 p.m. or 7:30 p.m. Thursday, 7:30 p.m. Friday, 2 p.m. Saturday, and 7:30 p.m. Saturday, and 2 p.m. Sunday. It's a great show. Please come watch. We need your support. Thank you.
Hello and welcome back to CCRI Today. For our interview, Peyton and I are joined with a very special guest, Professor and Department Chair of the Communication, Film and Media Department, Sandra Sneesby. Hello.
Hello. Thank you
for
so
joining
much.
us. Yeah.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure.
All right. So, what inspired you to become a filmmaker?
Well, I think I would trace it back to when I was in elementary and middle school, when I would steal away down to the community theater in Centerdale, which is a part of North Providence, and pretty much watch movies all day. We would go down to the theater, and in those days it was the only place you could see a movie, and it was the movie or movies of the week. And I remember being there, and they had these beautiful burgundy curtains, and they would open to reveal the screen. And you were just engulfed in this darkness with just the image and the sound surrounding you. And I was just mesmerized. I couldn't wait every week to go back down and watch another film. And I just became immersed in film, and that was something that I couldn't stop watching. So I wanted to know all about it, learn about it, and figure out how to make them myself.
And so you started the CCRI Film Festival, correct?
Yes, I started that with a student who was here at the time back in 2014, Brenton Henderson. Brent was a film student, and we worked together to sort of launch it. He organized it, he did a lot of the graphics, and really helped get it up and running that first year. And at the time, the film program was in its infancy, and it was a way to get awareness for the program and for the courses. So it was very exciting, but that was the kickoff year.
That's awesome. Yeah.
So what would you say the CCRI Student Film Festival does for our filmmakers at CCRI? Are there any benefits? What kind of does it do for them?
I think the opportunity to have your work shown in front of an audience and go beyond the classroom and just have it seen, which is what art is all about, having others look and view your art, hopefully that it moves or entertains them. So I think it's an opportunity to show the world, as small as it may be, in our little community, to show the world the work that you have done and get feedback and, hopefully applause for your work, which will in turn inspire you to make more work.
What kind of categories do they offer to students?
Oh, that's a great question, because we are always wanting to add more categories. So we have best of the entire festival, which is excellence in filmmaking, and it's in honor of Brent Henderson, who I started the film festival with, who unfortunately has left us, has passed away. And then we have best film in the categories of fictional narrative, documentary, experimental, and animation. And beyond that, we have best editor, best sound design, best writing, and we want to add more this year, focused on acting. Hopefully get some acting awards in there, maybe set design, costumes, etc. But we try to award all the participants in the film production units, because as you know, it takes many people to make a film, and so we want to celebrate all of them.
Of course,
Yeah.
definitely. And what can students look forward to, like in sort of the next year of CCRI filmmaking?
We've sort of expanded beyond we started off, it was just a couple of hour festival, but now we've expanded it last year to a full day. And now this year we're going to have an opening night sort of party celebration to kick off the festival, where we can all just get together, maybe dress up and have a good time. And then the following day, the Saturday, will be where all the films are shown, and we'll have workshops, maybe some vendors there. So yeah, we're slowly expanding it every year.
That's fantastic. Morgan?
Well, that sounds great, and I can't wait to go and see all the student filmmakers and their productions this year.
So, thank you for watching CCRI today. We hope you've enjoyed the last episode of this season, and we will see you next season. You can find more episodes, clips, and more at ccri.edu/channel. You stay classy, CCRI. Hello, and welcome back to CCRI Today, a show that takes a look at what's going on at the CCRI campuses, including news, current events, and sports. I'm Peyton Lewis, news reporter for CCRI.
And I'm Morgan Judd, reporter for CCRI. And for our top story for today, the Community College of Rhode Island has been designated as the National Center of Academic Excellence in the Cyber Defense for the next 5 years. This is the second step of a two-step accreditation process by the National Security Agency. This is the second time CCRI's cybersecurity degree program has earned the CAE-CD designation. It was first earned in 2018, and CCRI's cybersecurity program director, Michael Kelly, said, "We are very happy to receive this designation once again. It underscores the commitment to the cybersecurity program by the college. Achieving this designation would not have been possible without the contributions from the community college, and I really appreciate all their help and support."
Congratulations, CCRI. It's a big deal. In campus news, the student government met on Friday. The central focus of the meeting revolved around endorsing the Filmmakers Club, with additional discussions on enhancing the club creation process to facilitate ease for new students.
CCRI's Learning Lab and Dental Clinic was remodeled through a partnership with the Delta Dental of Rhode Island, which was supported by a $400,000 grant from the Strata Education Foundation. The partnership began in 2021 when oral hygiene professor Julie Galishaw stated that the college's dental training lab has not been updated since 2003. During this period of time, Thomas Chase, Chief Operating Officer, addressed the country's dental hygienist shortage. Due to the partnership, there was a 25% increase in the number of dental hygiene students at CCRI. Dental hygiene student Daniel Hernandez states that he always wanted to help people, and this career choice has helped him achieve that.
Now, a look at upcoming events on campus. Starting on November 23rd through the 26th, students do not have school due to Thanksgiving recess. Happy Thanksgiving and enjoy your break. Note that Tuesday, November 28th is the last day to withdraw from a class and receive the grade W.
And it's the season to give. Join us all campuses at the CCRI Blood Drive on Tuesday, November 28th to donate blood and save lives. The drive will be in the Knight campus and Flanagan campus Lower Commons, and the Bloodmobile in the Liston campus. All presenting donors will be automatically entered to win a pair of Patriot tickets for their December 18th game against Kansas City at the Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, Massachusetts. If you would like to reserve an appointment time, go to www.donate.ribc.org/donor/schedules. Walk-ins are welcomed. Also a reminder to eat, hydrate, and bring your ID.
I'm definitely going to be at the Lincoln campus to help out with the blood drive, you know? Finally, in sports. On Tuesday, November 14th at 8 p.m., the CCRI men's basketball team took on the Springfield Tech Rams at home and won with a final score of 120-58. Tonight, our team is on the road again to play the CCBC Catonsville Cardinals at 7 p.m. Earlier that evening at 6, the CCRI women's basketball team competed against the women's Springfield Tech Rams and were victorious with a final score of 90-11. The top players during the match were Alicia O'Hagan and Nicia Ortiz. Next week, on the 21st, the team will continue their winning streak when they play against the Quinsigamond Wyverns.
You are watching the CCRI Channel from the Community College of Rhode Island, online at ccri.edu/channel.
Worried about your friend but don't know how to reach out?
You can say how are you or get a fake tattoo. You can ask with an app if it works for you. You can chat with them in VR. It's all good if you think you should check in. Yeah, you should.
Whatever gets you talking. Reach out to a friend about their mental health. Whatever gets you talking. Learn how you can help at seizetheawkward.org.
Hello and welcome back to CCRI Today. I'm Peyton Lewis and I'm here with Tom Galeano, the editor-in-chief of The Unfiltered Lens. Tom, would you like to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, sure. I started at CCRI last year. I've been with The Unfiltered Lens since October of last year, and I'm a chemistry major, actually. I'm sure you remember I was the managing editor last year, because you were a part of the newspaper too, right?
Yes, I was.
And you know, I've been really trying to make a push to make it a more journalism-oriented paper. I'm pretty excited about what we're doing this year.
That's awesome. So how long have you been the editor-in-chief?
I've been the editor-in-chief since the beginning of this academic year. I was selected out of everybody. We had an interview process.
Who selected you?
I was selected by the previous editor-in-chief, Nina Fossey, and our advisor at the time, Jessica Arujo. And I'm really excited to be taking on the role. I know I saw Nina work so hard last year to build this newspaper up from nothing, and it was a lot of work. And I underestimated the amount that she did for this newspaper until taking it on myself.
So, do you want to follow a career in journalism?
I actually don't. I'm a chemistry major, like I said. I work in a lab right now, and I want to go into a STEM field, but I think that student journalism and student press is really, really important, and I'm passionate about it. And I think that communication in any field is important, and people undervalue it. I mean, in chemistry alone, like science advocacy and people getting their ideas out there in any field.
So how do you hope to apply what you've learned so far as editor-in-chief to your career?
Well, I think that, like I said, science advocacy is so important, and that so many scientists out there are bad at communicating their ideas, and they don't ever focus on the importance of publicity, and then we end up with a lot of misinformation and people not trusting accurate facts.
Yeah, definitely. Have you encountered any obstacles in your tenure as editor-in-chief so far?
Yes, and we've had a few minor hiccups between difficulties between staff members or issues trying to figure out our printing process or budgeting, but the main issue that has really faced us this semester is a lack of membership. And a lot of people, I think, assume that it's too much work to join the newspaper and that they have to commit a lot of time. And with rent rising for people and a lot of students working full-time or part of the Promise program, you've got to go to school full-time, they just think they don't have time to join a student newspaper and work on writing articles every month. I think people need to understand a little more the importance of what we're doing and how it can benefit students.
Definitely. And how do you think that writing for the newspaper could benefit students?
Well, especially if you're a communications major or you want to go into journalism in the future, it's a huge resume boost, just being able to say that you've already had experience working with real newspaper software and newspaper like you've got the workflow down, you're used to doing investigative journalism and having your work put out to a group of people, that's worth way more than just saying you took an English class.
So what kind of things do you do with the Unfiltered Lens?
Well,
like with the group?
We put out a print issue every month. I'm sure you've seen around on campus. We distribute to all 5 campuses. We've got those big racks that say the Unfiltered Lens on them, and we go around and we interview people and write articles and take photos and then organize it all into that. But we're actually soon hoping to push more for an online presence. That way we can all kind of collaborate and be working continuously on publishing.
So do you know when the next issue of the Lens is going to be out?
The next issue is actually going to be in print on Friday next week, so look out for that. Like I said, we have a lack of membership lately. It was supposed to be published in this first week, but we need to work on getting our content up and make sure that it's a high quality products that we're producing.
So how can students interact with the paper even if they don't write with it?
Well, students actually don't need to be writers or journalists at all to submit content. You can help us with graphic design. You could submit a letter to the editor telling us your opinion on the newspaper or on happenings at CCRI or even local politics. If you have any opinions or work that you've completed and you want it out there to the world, I would recommend submit it to the Unfiltered Lens.
Do you have anything else you'd like to say to our audience?
I think especially going into this spring semester with the communications and film department becoming its own department, we've got a lot of big things coming up, and that this spring with the introduction of newspaper production class and with the return of, well, you've got film club coming up now, and we should be seeing the film festival happening again. So I think that this is a huge time, and that spring semester is going to be a huge gain for CCRI and the Unfiltered Lens in the communications realm.
Thank you very much, Tom. Thank you for watching another episode of CCRI Today. You can find more episodes, student films, and live sports at ccri.edu/channel. I'm Peyton Lewis with the CCRI Channel. See you next time.
My name is Zach Alvadies, and you are watching the CCRI Channel from students at the Community College of Rhode Island. Watch now at CCRIChannel.org.
You are watching the CCRI Channel. News, sports, movies, and more from the students at the Community College of Rhode Island. Watch now at CCRIChannel.org.
This is how to borrow equipment and edit your projects in the Communication and Media Department at CCRI. When taking a production course in the CCRI Communication and Media Department, you'll need to borrow equipment and edit media for your projects. Here's how it works. First thing to do is follow your instructor's link to the Equipment Center website. That's right here. That is ccri.edu/cmmd/equipment. And before you do anything, like reserving equipment, you'll need to sign the semester agreement for using equipment and facilities. So to do that, click this button, read through the policies. Couple key items are that we do not check out recording media or memory cards. You have to provide your own memory cards. Your instructor will authorize you to check out certain pieces of equipment as you learn them. And you need to make sure you bring equipment back on time, or there may be some borrowing penalties on your account. So you read through that, click the agreement form, fill it out, and sign that you have reviewed it. Click submit, and you're all set. Once we have that on file, we'll add a rental membership to your account in our equipment lending system. Remember, you can only borrow equipment if you're currently enrolled in a comm or film course, and you're only able to borrow the specific pieces of equipment covered in your course. You'll be approved by your instructor as you learn new gear. We have a few different spots on campus to help you with what you need. If you need to borrow equipment like a camera, tripod, or audio recorder, you go to the Equipment Center in room 6561. So here's our main page. If you click on this, this will bring you down to our locations. 6561 Equipment Center. Open Monday to Friday, 10 to 2. And if you need help finding it, here's a map. If you get out of the elevator in the round building on the 6th floor, just take a left and we're right there. There's a sign posted outside the door. And once you go in, a staff member will help you out. If you need to edit your project or get extra help with post-production, go to the Studio/Edit Lab classroom in room 0526. So that one is down here. The Studio and Edit Lab, that's on the ground floor of the round building. And right next to it are our media production suites, where you can have a private room to edit or record audio. And these are open most of the day, Monday through Friday. You can view that on the map. It's right next to 0526. Lastly, if you need to edit during off hours when neither of these places are open, you can use the regular academic computer lab in room 2110, and that's open every day with extended hours and has Adobe Creative Cloud software on the Macs in the room. To submit an equipment reservation request, go ahead and click on this Reserve Equipment Here button. This will take you to a form. Fill out your requested equipment and allow 24 hours for our staff to process it. So I'll enter some information. Make sure you enter your CCRI email and the date you would like to reserve your equipment for. This must be 24 hours in advance. So if it is 9 o'clock on February 5th, I can only make a reservation request for anything after tomorrow, Tuesday the 6th at 9 o'clock. But I want to reserve something for Friday. And so I put in the date. I choose my options. You can choose between these 3 different DSLR models. These are the cameras that you're able to check out and bring home overnight. Or you can let us choose the best one that's available for you, depending on who's got things checked out. If you're in one of the upper level classes, 2000 level class, click on Other and enter the camera you'd like to borrow, such as the Canon EOS C70 for our documentary, cinematography, and studio production courses. Audio options. You have these various options that you'll learn about in class. You can choose a camera-mounted mic. I'm going to choose no lighting options for my reservation, and then yes, I do want a tripod. If you have any notes, feel free to add them there, and then click yes that you agree to follow the terms, and then click submit. So you'll receive a reservation confirmation email within 24 hours. And just note that this is not an automatic email. We have staff members going through each of these requests and then creating reservations. And so you'll get that once your reservation is created. It'll be from film equipment at ccri.edu, and it'll include a loan number and then all the details of your loan. And if you want, you can log in to our system and check the status of your reservation by clicking the Lend Engine link and logging in. On February 9th, I'll go in, pick it up at the Equipment Center, and it'll be due back on Monday by the end of the open hours. So when it's time to pick up your reservation or editing suite time slot, go to the location. A staff member will complete the checkout with you. You can take a look at your equipment, make sure you have everything ask questions and take the equipment home with you, or use the edit suite for the time slot you've reserved. So that's just about it. Please feel free to reach out to us if you have any questions. Our email is filmequipment@ccri.edu, and be sure to check the website and Instagram for updates.
You do realize that your earthly presence is not required for this interaction, right? Why show up here if you're not going to talk?
You've evaded death for the last time, Jeremiah. Why don't you just eat it like a sandwich?
I like to keep my hands clean. Is that a crime?
No, but skirting death is.
Really? Where does it say that? In the Bible? So why actually show up this time? I've already evaded death so many times. More times than I can count.
Say that this fry is you. Ordinarily, I would slowly erode you over the course of your life, sort of like biting into a fry until you finished it.
Neat magic trick.
But every time you start to break down, you seem to pick yourself right back up, like nothing even happened.
That makes sense, but why stop now?
I'm done eating the fry.
All I'm hearing is that you can't kill me.
You're correct. I can't. Congratulations. You've won.
No. You can't give up. This is my purpose. The fact that I'm immortal is why this is fun. I need to prove to myself, to prove to the world, that I can be dead.
Well, you've proven it. Would you like your reward?
I get a reward for outsmarting you?
Yes. You get to be the new me.
Is that still an option?
Death is now your only option. Good luck. Wait, what?
That's me. My parents have a sense of humor.
How was the drive?
Fine. We found the place, right?
Andre Sartre, nice to meet you. Nice to meet you too. My friends and I have always wanted to apply to Grandma's Basement. Great games. Great games.
That's great to hear. Teresa Mozart, right?
Yes, that's me.
Do you like classical music?
I get that joke too many times.
Sorry, let's just get on with the interview, shall we?
Yeah, that would be lovely.
So, your resume says you've been coding since middle school. What got you started?
I have this little brother, Zeke. He's great and all, but his social skills can be a little... He was diagnosed with autism. I mean, some days he doesn't even talk. But he loves video games. And one summer, when he was like 7, he wanted to go to this coding camp. But he was too scared to do it alone, so I went with him. I don't know, I just kind of fell in love with it. Plus, I love to make video games for Zeke. It helps us bond.
That's nice.
Yeah. And plus, I think he's super psyched to have a sister who codes video games professionally.
Excuse me if I'm assuming, but does your last name have anything to do with Eric Sartre?
He's my dad.
So the video game industry is something you're familiar with?
Yeah, I plan on working for a few outside firms, but, he's always over my shoulder.
And is your father the reason you're interested in video games?
Originally, yeah. The expectation is I'll go work for him, you know what I mean? That's how it goes.
So why video games?
Can I be blunt?
Oh, please do. I love blunt people.
It pays well, and it doesn't make me want to stab myself.
So, what do you consider your biggest strength?
I think I can remain calm in just about any situation. It takes a lot to faze me. I'm good at finding solutions to problems.
I can make, light of any grim situation. That's kind of my sense of humor.
Really? You can make a joke out of anything? Can you make a joke out of 9/11?
Will I be immediately disqualified for it?
Right, let's do something a little less extreme. Can you find the humor in Hannah Graves?
Excuse me?
After all, you made light of her back then.
I don't really know what you're talking about.
Don't lie to me, please.
Hannah Graves doesn't matter.
For someone who claims to remain calm, you sure turn on a dime.
I just don't know why this shit is coming up now.
Well, Teresa, we pride ourselves on our safe working environment, and the malice you showed Hannah is quite alarming.
Did that come up in the background check? I thought you guys only check social media and criminal records.
We found Teresa's suspension and dug a little deeper.
Oh. But that's Teresa's record, not mine.
I know that, Miss Rouge, but...
What happened to Hannah was really unfortunate. But I don't know what that has to do with anything. Are we supposed to be talking about my qualifications?
You say you're a problem solver, but you're the one who started the problem. How do you justify that?
Okay. Calling Hannah a baby during a fight was childish. But that was a one-time thing. It was Andre that made it a thing. And what Teresa did? She deserved way more than a suspension.
Did you imitate a baby crying whenever Hannah...
People were laughing. It was a joke, okay? I just make jokes. That's my thing.
Did Hannah laugh?
That's...
Please remember to breathe, Andre. In and out, there's no time limit.
Everyone was laughing. It was a joke.
Andre.
Listen, why am I the one being on trial here, okay? I was just making people laugh. Cherry was the one that started it. Teresa finished it. I just made jokes.
Okay, I admit it. I put all the diapers and the bibs and the baby powder in her locker, but Hannah had pissed me off, and Andre's crying gave me the idea.
What did she do to warrant that?
What? You think she's a saint just because I did something a little mean?
She seems that way.
She kissed my boyfriend. You call that innocent? Honestly, if you're gonna blame me, then you have to blame Cherry and Andre too. In fact, blame Hannah. I didn't tell her to kill herself.
Victim blaming is very low.
Oh, she's a victim now?
I think most people would agree.
You know what? This is bullshit. I'm out.
Something the matter?
There's no door.
Oh?
How did I get here?
You walked in, of course.
No, I don't even remember walking in or when we stopped driving. We're dead.
Do you think I could just get like a glass of water or something? I'm just It's just a little weird.
I think that'll be all.
What do you mean?
I've seen all that I need to.
I can go?
Yes, I'll send you where I've decided you'll go.
What do you mean?
Mr. Sartre, you and your friends never made it to the interview. The three of you passed away in a car crash on the way there.
That's not possible.
It very much is.
What are you, some kind of judge?
If you believe that's an accurate word. My responsibility is to deal with special cases. You and your friends died quite young, hardly enough time to judge your souls. Usually that's enough to keep someone from damnation.
But Hannah happened.
Yes. We felt it'd be the most fair to give all three of you a chance to explain yourselves. I'm terribly sorry for the deception. You're very calm for someone who knows they're dead. There's usually a lot more crying involved.
Well, I wouldn't be given this interview if there wasn't a chance I'd pass it, right? That's the whole point.
Yes.
So I'm not worried. Like I said, I'm not the one who made this a big deal. Is Hannah killing herself sad? Sure. But I can't think it's all my fault.
Because of the guilt?
Because it's the truth.
I see. Well, are you ready to go?
What is love? Really want to know what is love? Ooh, aye. Girl, it really looks like things gonna change now. With you, my love, it's you, my love. For so much love you gave away now, and so much kissing.
Greetings, companions. This is Tristan Milwaukee, and you are listening to No Thought Radio. I'm gonna put the new song on by Skipper 12 called Birthday Card Dilemma. Grandma sent me a birthday card, no money in it. I need to find a fix. Life is hard at 26. No, this is not a top 40 hit. This is not compute. Be gone, be gone.
You would think it would have She's so talented. What's been going on? How's work?
It's been going pretty good. I'm starting my new job soon. So yeah, excited.
And just look what it is.
Guys, what's up?
Oh, that must have been a headache.
Oh,
Because you guys border patrol. I think so strong for a
Oh.
Riley! Hey, how have you been?
I've been doing all right. How are you? How's the family?
Stressful, but they're doing good. My dad's all hyped about the acceptance, so I'm riding that high for a while.
Oh yeah, you got into Salve, right?
Yeah, I bet it's gonna be the headliner today at dinner.
Yeah.
But hey, it's not gonna be all about me. Dad's been talking about you too.
Right.
Devin, Riley, help come set the table. Since when is dear Uncle Adam babbling compliments about me?
Since last week, at least. He heard about your essay.
Oh yes, what a proud educational achievement. A single A- on a half-assed essay.
Hey, at least it's something nice.
Dinner's almost ready. Breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. Mica, titanium dioxide, soy sterol, tetrasodium, glycerin. Just breathe. Just breathe. Just breathe in. Just breathe out.
Why are you eating all of that?
Stop thinking!
Just breathe. Just breathe. Just breathe in. Just breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out.
You should be grateful!
Just breathe in. Breathe out.
It's not my job to fix you.
You need some meat on your bones!
What?
Can't eat all that?
Hey, can I come in? Right. It's okay to come out.
No, it's not okay, okay? I'm not fucking okay. I didn't even want to come today, but they made me, and now I just have to sit out there at that fucking table with all that fucking food and make small talk while they eat to their heart's content, and
I know. They're still setting everything up. We don't have to go out yet. We'll start off slow, okay? I'll eat with you. Alright, come on. Do you really want to miss out on them bragging about your essay? Alright. I'm glad you came.
You've been doing all right. Well, thank you for this meal.
Oh,
There's
there
our
she
scholars.
is.
Oh, hey.
All right.
Yeah, thanks. Would you like some? Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Really?
Right, it's very educational.